and then list. So like array, this numpy array with list, because there are a lot of questions within your mind, I think so. Okay, which is about what is the difference between using normal list, and what is the difference between like that one and using a numpy array. So what is the major difference? So first of all, while talking about the first difference, numpy occupies less memory when compared to the list. For an example, if you are considering an array, okay, so sorry, if you are considering some list, okay, so that list which is going to contains like 100 elements. So for example, 1 2 3 4 5 6 up to 100 numbers are there. The memory consumption or the memory occupied by the list, which is going to be higher when compared to the numpy array. Whenever you are assigning the same array which contains 100 elements, but you are assigning it with the help of numpy array, definitely that is going to consume less memory when compared to assigning with the help of list. That is the first difference, memory consumption or memory occupying. And second difference, numpy is faster than the list. Actually, in a Python, there is a library called time, guys. Okay, if you have notebooks, please note it down. The time library. With the help of the time library, we can able to measure the start time, and then we can able to measure the current time. We can able to identify the current time. So if you are doing that, so you can put up a start time, or if you are putting a code that time acquisition in the first part and then end part, so that you can able to find out the difference between the end and then start time, so that you can able to find out the time interval of the certain code execution. So if you are measuring that for both the list and the numpy, so you can able to identify that numpy will be numpy will be processed very fast when compared to the list. That is the second difference. And what is the third difference, which is numpy is easier than the list. For example, whatever the operation which you want to do, so handling an array, so like to identifying the position or to get the certain element. So likewise, there are a lot of options or lot of functions which we can able to do easily in the numpy when compared to the list. Okay, these are the three main differences. So first one, while comparing the numpy array with the list, the first one, which is the memory consumption. Memory consumption of the numpy, which is going to be lesser when compared to the list. The second comparison, which is like code execution or processing time, the processing time interval, which is going to be very less when compared to the list. For the numpy array. And third one, numpy is easier than the list. So there are a lot of inbuilt functions in the numpy, so that we can able to use that inbuilt lot of inbuilt function to do some kind of lot of operations in that array. So that is the third main advantage of numpy versus the list. Okay, so I hope you guys got this. These are the three main difference, because you may get interview questions up to this numpy and the list if you are if you have posted this Python programming as your programming language. Okay, so let us explore some of the program and then example, guys. First of all, here we have example, which is initialization of an array. So how you can able to initialize an array? There are a lot of things, lot more ways how to initialize an array. And before that, I would like to give some introduction about installing a numpy array, numpy library, because as we have already discussed, guys, lot of people are using different kind of notebooks. Some people are using Jupyter notebook, some people are using Spider, some people are using normal IDLE, some people are using Google Colab. So there are a lot of people are using lot of different Python notebooks, right? So that's why what if you those who are people are using command window from the IDLE, or the people are using IDLE, first of all you just want to install the library, right? So again, so I hope you all remember the procedure how to install a library. On the command prompt, I'm going for run as administrator. Okay, clicking enter. Okay, so here this is the command prompt as an administrator. Here we need to type pip space install space numpy library, numpy. Okay, so you just want to install that library first. Okay, so requirement already satisfied. That version which I'm using is 1.18.5 in the Python 3.7.8 version. Okay, so you just make sure whether you have installed the numpy library or not. If you haven't installed, please install it in your laptop. Okay, so if you are using, those people who are all using IDLE and then command window, this is the procedure. Whereas the people are using Conda with Jupyter notebook, that people you can type numpy in the library catalog or library options, or else you can install it via the Anaconda command prompt. You just want to type Conda install numpy. And then the people who are all using Google Colab, if it is showing any error called numpy which is not found, So I would like to give some introduction about how to install a library in Google Colab, because there are a lot more doubts for you guys. Okay, so how to do that? It's simple, guys. So you just open, or you just create another new shell. So on the new shell, you can't type like this, pip space install space numpy. So if you are typing that, it won't execute properly because it is not the way of installing the library. So what you can do is simply you just put exclamatory in the prefix of the certain command. So whatever the command which you need to execute in the core part or code root directory of the certain Python which you are using here, we need to execute by having the prefix which is exclamatory. So exclamatory pip space install space numpy. So if you are installing it, so if you are running it, so it will install. Requirement already satisfied, which I have already installed. Okay, so this is the procedure, guys. Please note it down, because these are all the things which you definitely which will require for you, because if you want to change the version, so those things definitely it is highly needed. So this is the command. Whenever you need to install a library in a Google Colab, we need to use the exclamatory symbol on the prefix of the complete command. So exclamatory pip space install space numpy. This is the command which used to which will be helpful for installing a library in the Google Colab. Okay, which is already installed now. And so whatever the thing, so if you want to import a certain library, so that library can be imported by using a import syntax or import keyword. So import space numpy, that library name, and we have checked out the version. So the library, the numpy library which I'm using is 1.19.5. okay, so this is the way of importing a library. And another main thing, guys, another main thing I wish to share with you, which is, for an example, guys, whenever you are importing a certain library, so for each and every time if you want to call this library name, so we need to call like this, like numpy. So numpy dot array, numpy dot array, numpy dot arrange. So likewise we need to call that name each and every time. So to overcome that difficulty, you can simply assign it like as. Okay, so you can put like as np. So if you are using this kind of words or this kind of like np, so instead of calling a numpy name, so you can call np. So this is like alternative word. You can also use n. Okay, likewise, so that library, instead of calling numpy each and every time, you can put up one as np, so that you can able to call the numpy library in the name of np. So this is an alternative name. Okay, so np is alternative name. So instead of calling numpy each and every time, we can able to call that numpy library name with the help of the word called np. Okay, this is the purpose of using this as np. Okay, now we have imported an library. The first code which we are going to discuss, which is initialization of array. How to initialize some kind of array. Okay, for an example, that can be easily imported. So first of all, we have imported numpy library. As we have already discussed, it is unnecessary. Okay, so because just for demo I'm just showing. So import numpy as an np, and if you want to initialize some array, so a is equal to np dot array of, so here we have initialized one, that is 7 comma 9 comma 9 comma 2. Okay, if you are printing this is the single dimensional array, whereas this numpy also can be processed the matrix also, like multi-dimensional array also. But here for demo purpose, we are first of all we are learning like step by step. Here first of all, here we have initialized an array which is 7992. This is an array that can be initialized by using the syntax called numpy.array. So I hope you know how this np came. So np came from this numpy. Okay, so that numpy library, so np.array of this 7 comma 9 comma 9 comma 2 under the square braces. So this is the single dimensional array. So if you have printer like printer of a, so then it printed this array. So 7 comma 9 7992. This is the first array. Okay, single dimensional array. So this is the procedure for initializing a single dimensional array. Whereas if you want to initialize the multi-dimensional array, so you just want to understand why we are going for this multi-dimensional array, because on our school days we used to handle, or we used to work on matrices, right? So matrix. So on the time, so whenever our faculties used to teach, we'll be like completely confusing. We don't know where we are using that matrix, where that number. So for an example, if the people used to teach 5 plus 10 is equal to 15, so that definitely it will be helpful for doing some mathematics on our shops and those things. So regarding cost or regarding price or those things, definitely. But until now, so a lot of people are not being taught why we are using a matrices. So there are a lot, even though there are a lot of purposes. So here I would like to give the better understanding about the multidimensional array or multidimensional like a matrix and those things, because this is majorly used on image processing concepts. Because when we moved on to the digital field or digital kind of digitized world, because we are in the digitized world, right? Even though we are using now digital signature, right? So for an example, if a certain image is here, so this is an image. So if you are assuming this is an image, so if you are capturing via your mobile phone camera or like anything. So for an example, how many of you people used a Nokia 010 mobile phone? If you have used, you just post I used Sanjay in your comment box below, because whenever on the time, so if you are turning on the camera in your Nokia 010, that kind of keypad mobile phones, and if you are sliding from here to here, so how many of you people watch that there will be a lot of lag in that? So lagging in the sense, so after 1 second only the frame will be updated in your mobile phone. So it is like a frame rate. So how much frame it is processing per second. Okay, so that is the frame second, that is FPS, frame per second. So what is the frame? So whenever you are capturing it via your mobile phone or anything, so but another main thing, so nowadays we are using a mobile phone where we are capturing like time lapse, and we are taking a time lapse, and we are taking a level like what slow motion. So there are a lot of videos we are now taking, right? So whenever that certain real time that images which is going to be converted into a digital images, so if that is a digital images, that digital which is nothing but a combination of rows and then columns. So for an example, let us consider any black and white object. So I don't have any black and white. Let us take this book. Okay, this is an image. So if this is an image, if you are considering this is a black and white, okay, so if it is a black and white, so you just imagine these letters are black and remaining background which is going to be white. So black and white means, so black which is going to be a dark color, right? That is going to be a pixel 0th value. And whereas the white color color which is going to represent, that is a white, that is a 1. Okay, 1 and 0, this is the digitized value. So whenever there is a 1, that is a white color. Whenever there is a 0, that is a dark color. Okay, that is a black color. Okay, so that is a digital image of binary, that is a black and white image. So if you are considering that image in a digital format, so if this is the picture of digital format, so if you want to consider this image as, if you want to process something, so if you want to remove the noise, or if you want to identify the text which is present in it, so these are like advanced deep learning projects. So on the time, so definitely we need to process this complete image like a array or multi-dimensional array, because this is a matrix, right? So it is also containing rows and then columns. So there are a lot of number of columns, and rows is also there. So if you want to process that, that is also can be processed with the help of this NumPy library. Okay, so here for the basic or for basic initialization, here how to initialize multi-dimensional array. So how to initialize some matrix. So it is also going to be simple. So our same as like import NumPy as NP library, and b is equal to np.array of this square braces. Inside that square braces, the first group of data which is 7, 9, 2, and there is a second data which is 16, 11, 9, 6. This is a two-dimensional array, right? So if you are running this and if you are seeing this output, this is the matrix, right? So how many rows are there? 2 rows are there. So 1 and then 2. Okay, 2 rows are there, whereas how many columns are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, totally we have 4 columns and then 2 rows, 2 cross 4. This is the matrix which we have obtained. Same as like if you want to consider another matrix which contains some of the values like 1, 2, 5, 8. So this is the 3-dimensional array. Okay, so this is a 3-dimensional array where it contains 3 rows and 4 columns. Okay, so likewise you can able to initialize lot of array by initializing with the NumPy array library. Okay, numpy.array of more number of array which can be initialized here. Okay, so this is the NumPy library, guys. Okay, I hope you guys got this, how to initialize by using a multi-dimension. Okay, so and then what is the thing is like if you want to generate an array based on some of the range. So if you want to generate a group of data or group of array, that can also be generated by using different ways. So for an example, the first way, which is arrange. Okay, ARANGE. So this is the np dot arrange of 10. So what it means, because in the for loop, so yesterday session we have discussed about the for loop, right? So on the for loop we have discussed about the range function, range of 10. So likewise, this arrange function, which is going to generate a range of 10 numbers, which is going to be like, it start from initial values and it is going to end at 10. So of course it won't include the last number, that is 10. So this is the range of values, which is going to start from 0 and it is going to end at 9, but complete value it will be in the format of like array. Okay, so numpy dot array range of 10, which is going to generate 9 numbers, which is going to be considered inside that array. 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, that is the first value or first data which we have obtained from c is equal to np dot arrange of 10. And whereas the second variable, so second way where we can able to generate a list of data or range of data, so d is equal to np dot linspace. Okay, this is like a line space of 1 comma 5 comma 6. So here I've given the sample syntax. So what is the first argument, which is 1, which is the start point, and the second argument, which is the end point. So 1 to 5, it is going to generate 6 numbers. So for an example, if you are seeing this output, so from 1 to 5, it has generated 6 numbers by equally distributing it. So for an example, 1, 1.8, 2.6, 3.4, 4.2, 5. These are the equally distributed values, which is from one number to the fifth number by having 6 kind of like divisions. Okay, 6 numbers it is generated. Same as like, if for an example, if you want to generate only 3 numbers between 1 to 5, so if you are running that 1, 3 and then 5, these are the 3 numbers, right? So for an example, if you want to generate 10 numbers in between 1 comma 5, so you generated 1, 1.444, 1.88, 2.33, 2.7. So this is the another kind of way to generate an array or generate a numbers in the term of like numpy library or array. Okay, so these are the 2 ways to generate different kind of range of functions or range of numbers with the help of 2 syntax like arrange, which is going to generate a group of or range of values which is from certain ranges, whereas if you are considering from and then to, so with the range, so if you want to segregate a lot of data in between, you can go for the option called linspace. Okay, so this is the option to generate a new arrays. So I hope you are clear with this basic array initialization. If you are super clear with this, you just post "I'm super clear Sanjay" in your comment box. Okay, so these are all the stuffs, guys. These are all the stuffs which is going to be required for generating or creating or initializing an multiple arrays. So first of all, we have seen single dimensional array, and we have seen 2-dimensional as well as multi-dimensional array, and here we have generated a new array with the help of 2 new syntax called arrange and then linspace. Arrange, which is going to generate a range of values which we have specified there, whereas linspace is also going to be do same, but it is going to have from and then to. In between, it is going to generate n number of data which we have specified here. Okay, and also it is also assigned it to the array variables. Okay, likewise we have this data. This is a d variable. Okay, so this is the way of generating an array. So I have also included some screenshots, guys. So single dimension, multi-dimension, and then range of values. And the second thing, properties of an array. So if you want to know about the properties, so what is the purpose of using properties? So for an example, guys, if you have converted or if you have loaded your image into your single variable, okay, so now if you want to identify what are the number or what are the size of that image. So for an example, if this is an image, I am going to feed it to the like I'm going to convert into a digital image. So digital image, if it is an array or if it is a kind of data, so from the data, if you want to understand how many pixels or values are there, so how many rows and then how many columns are there, or what is the size of this data. So likewise, if you want to understand about the certain matrix or certain array, that can be find out by using this property. So for an example, here we have considered 2 arrays, guys. So as an initialization, a is equal to np dot array 7, 9, 2, and b is equal to np dot array. This is a multi-dimensional array, that is a 2-dimensional 7, 9, 2, 16, 11, 9, 6. These are the values which we have considered here. And first of all, if you want to understand or if you want to identify the dimension of array, so for an example, the first answer, which is 1, right? So what is the 1 here? a dot n dimension. So this is the first array, a dot n dimension, which is going to give us the dimension of array. So for an example, let us, I think we already know from the b variable we have two dimensional array, right? So here instead of a, if I'm going to pass b, okay, I'm going to run this part. Okay, if you have run this, so here we got the first answer, which is 2. So what is this 2 for? This 2, which is dimension of the second array. Okay, likewise, if you want to understand or if you want to know about the dimension of array, that can be identified by specifying the array variable dot n dimension. So which is going to give us the information about the array's dimension. And whereas a dot item set, so which is going to give us the byte size of an each element. So for an example, here we have np dot array of 7 comma 9 comma 2, and then 7 comma 9 comma 9 comma 2 and 16 comma 11 comma 9 comma 6. We have this array, right? So on that array, so what are all the elements, guys? Okay, if you know the answer, you can post your answers. So this is an array. Let us take these are, this is my array. A is equal to array of this 7 comma 9 comma 2, 9 comma 9 comma 2. This is or my this is my array. Okay, a is my array. So out of this, what are all the elements, guys? What are the elements which is present in the array? If you know the answer, you can post your answers in the comment box. Okay, so what is the main thing is, guys? So from this, if you want to identify the byte size of an each element, so element which all presents, okay, what is the dimension, sorry, what is the byte size of an each element, that can be identified by using a dot item size. So a dot item size, which is going to give the answer, which is 8. So this is the 8 byte of each element size. Okay, that is the item size of item size syntax. And if you want to understand or if you want to know the data type of an array, for an example, on array there may be a different different kind of types of data. So if you want to understand or if you want to know the data type of an array, you can use a dot d type. So which means it is going to give us the data type. What is the data type? Which is integer or 64-bit data type. Okay, this array which is an integer of 64-bit data type. Okay, so that can be obtained by using a d type syntax. Okay, and then print of a dot size and multiples of a dot item size. If you are doing this, you can able to identify the memory occupied, space occupied by a one element. This is a formula. So formula in the sense, space occupied by a first one element, multiples of length of an numpy array. So if you are doing this, if you are doing a product of space occupied by a single element with the length of numpy array, it is going to give the overall memory occupied of a certain array. Okay, so this array is there. So what is the elements, guys? What is the element means? Elements are nothing but 7, 9, 9, 2. These are all the elements of this array. Whereas in this array, in this b array, so 7, 9, 9, 2, 16, 11, 9, 6. These are all the elements of b array. Okay, so what is the thing is, if you want to identify the memory occupied of that complete array, that can be identified by using this formula, a dot size multiples of a dot item size, which is for that a array, a dot size, we are going to find out the a dot size and multiples of a dot item size, so that it is going to give us the memory occupied. So this is the 32. 32 is the memory occupied for the first array. Whereas if you want to find out the for the second array, so you can put up like b multiple the thing is, if you want to identify the memory occupied of that complete array, that can be identified by using this formula, a dot size multiples of elements are nothing but 7, 9, 9, 2. These are all the elements of this array. Whereas in this array, in this B array, so 7, 9, 9, 2, 16, 11, 9, 6. These are all the elements of B array. Okay. So what is the thing is, if you want to identify the memory occupied of that complete array, it is going to give the overall memory occupied of a certain array. Okay, so this array is there. So what is the elements, guys? What is the element means? Elements are nothing but 7, 9, 9, 2. These are all the elements of this array. Whereas in this array, in this B array, so 7, 9, 9, 2, 16, 11, 9, 6. These are all the elements of B array. Okay, so what is the thing is, if you want to identify the memory occupied of that complete array, that can be identified by using this formula a dot size multiples of a dot item size, which is for that a array, a dot size, we are going to find out the a dot size and multiples of a dot item size, so that it is going to give us the memory occupied. So this is the 32. 32 is the memory occupied for the first array, whereas if you want to find out for the second array, so you can put up like b multiples b dot size and b dot item size. If you are executing this, it is given that is a 64. Okay, this is the memory occupied. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, and then if you want to find out the number of elements in an array, if you want to find out number of elements, so in this element, so how many numbers of elements are there? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 elements are there. If you want to identify the number of elements which is present in an array, that can be identified by using a dot size, which we have already seen here, right? Whereas if you want to understand, or if you want to know the shape of an array, so what is the shape of an array? So that can be identified by using b dot shape. So with the help of that, we can able to understand the shape. So what is the shape? 2, 4. So 2, 4. This is the shape of this array. So why it is showing, why it is giving 2, 4, guys? Because we have already seen this. So if you are having this matrix, this is the matrix which have, this is the array which I have considered there, right? So if you are running this, 2 rows and then 4 columns, this is the dimension of an array, right? So this is the shape of an array, right? So 2, 4, this is the shape of an array. So I would like to share you some another same information. So this is a digital image. I've taken this digital image. So out of this digital image, if you want to understand, or if you want to know the shape of this image, what is the shape? For an example, if you are using advanced deep learning algorithms like pre-trained models of convolutional neural network or any other neural network, so on that time, each and every deep learning model will have some prerequisites that image should be in the specific shape. So likewise, you have some prerequisites. So on the time, this syntax will be very helpful for you. B dot shape, which is going to which will give you the complete information about this image, like what is the size. So for an example, if a BGG16 pre-trained model will ask the image should be in the size of 224 cross 224. If that is the requirement, then you can able to identify the shape of an image by using b.shape syntax. Okay, b that name, the variable name dot shape. So which is going to give us the information about the certain array. Okay, likewise, so here we have this two-dimensional array which contains 2 rows and then 4 columns. So that's why we got the output 2 comma 4. Okay, in a single part of the code we have explored a lot, guys. First of all, n dimension keyword, which is going to give us the dimension of an array, whether it is a single dimension or 2 dimension or 3 dimension. Whereas a dot item size, which is going to give us the byte size of an each element. So byte size of a 7, byte size of a 9, byte size of a 9, byte size of a 2. So likewise it is going to give us the byte size of an each element. Whereas the third thing, a dot d type, which is going to give us the data type of an element, which we are data type of your array. Okay, in our array you may use string or you may use anything. So it is going to give us the data type of an array. And b dot size or a dot size, that size keyword or size syntax, which is going to give us the number of elements in an array. So in a single array, how many elements are there? So here in the first array we have 1 2 3 4, totally 4 elements are there. So likewise it can able to give us the like size of an array. And shape syntax, so it can able to give us the shape of an array, rows and then columns. So how many rows and how many columns which is present in that multidimensional matrix. So likewise it can able to give us the shape of an array. Okay, so these are all the syntax. I hope you all super clear with this. Okay, that is the second one, properties of an array. And third one, array reshaping, because it is also necessary to know how to reshape an array. So what does mean by reshape, guys? So reshape is nothing but to interchanging a number of rows and then columns. So for an example, here I'm going to consider same B array, which contains 7, 9, 9, 2 and 16, 11, 9, 6. Okay, so I'm going to print that and we are going to reshape, because we already know the shape of that array, which is 2, 4. We are going to interchange that 2, 4 into 4, 2. So let us see the output. Okay, so first initially we have this multidimensional array, 2 rows and then 4 columns, which is completely changed into 4 rows and then 2 columns by using the reshape keyword. Okay, so that array title b dot that array variable b dot reshape of, instead of 2, 4, it is already 2, 4, but we are changed into 4, 2, so that it is just make this into 7, 9, 9, 2, 16, 11 and the 9, 6, which is nothing but 2, 4 shape of that array completely converted or completely reshaped into 2 rows and then 4 columns. Okay, this is the purpose of using reshape keyword. Okay, so that is the array reshaping. And then we have another function which is array slicing. So what does mean by array slicing? So slicing is also very simple, guys. If you want to get some specific data from the overall array, so for an example, if you have an image, so from that image, if you want to take first off from that image or first off data from that image, so first off data from that certain array. So if you want to specifically slicing of the certain data from an array, that can be done with the help of this array slicing. So here we are going to consider the same B array. So B is equal to np dot array of 7, 9, 9, 2, 16, 11, 9, 6. So print of B of 0, 2. This is like slicing the element from certain row and certain column. So for an example, so if you are running this, so B of 0, 2. So what is this 0, guys? 0 is simple. So from this array, this is 0 and this is 1, right? This is the index of 0 and this is the 1. So whereas 0 means it is going to represent only this one, these elements, 7, 9, 2, 9, 9, 2. So out of that comma, so we have represented the column index. So what is the column index? Column index is 2. So what does mean by 2? This is 0, and this is 1, and this is 2. Okay, this is what the 9. So what is the 9 output? This is the column index. Okay, number 2. Okay, so B array of 0, 2, which it is going to give us only the result of the 9, because 0, 2. So 0 is going to resemble you the rows, and then this one is second column. Okay, it is going to represent the column. So on talking about the row, this is a 0 index. So this is completely a row. This is a 0 index, and this is the 1 index. So out of that 0 index, so we are going to take the second index of the column. So 0 and then 1 and then 2. So this is the 9, we got the output. Okay, this is the first keyword or first syntax. And if you want to slicing an element from all rows and certain columns, so for an example, instead of taking the data from the first row itself, instead of that, if you want to take out the data from the complete row, so from the complete row we are going to specify the column number, means so that can be specified by using the same, but we need to keep a colon on the suffix. Okay, 0 colon comma 2, which is going to slice the element from all rows and certain column. So what is the column ID? Which is 2, right? So 2 means, so first of all, 0 colon, which is going to represent 0 means only this data, whereas 0 colon means it is going to take this complete data. So from the complete data, we are going to take the second syntax of the column. So what is that? So which is 0, 1, 2. This is the 9 which is printed first. And then from the second data, 0, 1, 2. This is also 9. So that's why we got 9 comma 9. Okay, so this is the array slicing, guys. If you want to get or if you want to retrieve the certain data from an array, that can be obtained by using array slicing. Okay, I hope you all super clear with this. Okay, so and then fifth one, array max minimum sum finding. So for an example, from an array, if you want to do some operations, like if you want to find out the certain functions, so I'm going to tell you where it will be used for. So another main thing, guys, whenever you are using a deep learning or whenever you are machine learning, we are using a machine learning concept. So okay, let us make some interesting thing. So for an example, I have this object. Okay, I have this object and I have this object. Okay, in this I have notebook, and in here I have mobile phone, right? So if your age is 24, right? So if your age is 24, 25, so based on your age, so if I'm showing this object to you, what you will say, guys? You will say this is a mobile phone, right? If I'm showing this object to you, what you'll say? This is the book. But if I'm showing the same two object to your newborn baby, definitely that baby won't know this is a book and this is the mobile phone, because that baby don't have that enough knowledge to understand or to know about this is the book and this is the mobile phone, right? So no one taught that, right? So what is the thing is, guys, like if you are creating a new artificial intelligence robot, so first of all, it doesn't know about anything, right? So it is very blank. So you are going to teach it. So for teaching, we can able to collect, so in a digital format, you can collect 1,000 images of book and 1,000 images of mobile phone, and I'll give it to the deep learning model, and it will train and it will learn. And it will learn. Also, once the training is completed or once the learning process it will completed, it will have some knowledge, right? So if what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to show the mobile phone to my trained model file. Okay, so if I'm going to show the mobile phone to the trained model file, what it will do? First of all, it will try to compare that accuracy of this object, whether is it for a book, what is the accuracy for that is that object to be a mobile phone. Okay, I'm repeating again. So for an example, another main example I can say, how many of you people have watched Robot, like Endiran movie? Okay, on that Endiran movie, so if you watched, you just post I watched Sanjay in your comment box, because on that movie, Dr. Buran will ask that robot to pick up a gun. So instead of picking up a gun, it will pick up a bun, right? So how many of you guys watch that? It is like a misclassification. It can't able to understand or it can't able to identify which one is gun, which one is bun. So sometimes there may be a possibility of problem with its microphone, or sometimes it may be a problem with its eyesight or camera for that robot. But if you are seeing in a back end wise, it is a misclassification. So on that misclassification, so first of all, you should want to compare the certain object of accuracy. For an example, if I'm showing this mobile phone, what is the what is the accuracy of that object need to be become like this is a mobile phone. So what is the accuracy of this object to be a mobile phone, and what is the accuracy of this object to be a book? So likewise, it need to compare, or it need to know about the accuracy of the certain object, right? So on that time, what we need to do is we need to understand, or we need to identify what is the maximum accuracy, what is the maximum accuracy out of the certain array, because that deep learning model will give you the results in the format of array. So from that array, so it can able to give you the results like what? For an example, book versus a mobile phone means it will give like this. So 0.99 comma like what 2.3. Okay, this is like a percentage. Okay, 99 percentage and 23 percentage. Okay, if this is the output which we got from the additional output, so first element if it is representing a book, and second element which is representing mobile phone, and from that we can able to easily understand that first element which is having a maximum value which is 9.99, which is maximum when compared to 2.34. So out of that we can make a decision that so the given object which is a book, Okay, so that's why we need to know about how is the minimum value, how to find out the minimum value, how to find out the maximum value, how to do the sum of the complete array value. So here we have another array which is 7 comma 9 comma 9 comma 2 comma 16 comma 11 comma 96. So from that, what is the maximum value, what is the minimum value, what is the sum of the total value, which is 2, 96 and then 150. So that can be easily obtained by using keywords called e.min, e.max, e.sum. So minimum for min, and then maximum for max, and then doing addition for the complete elements. So we can use the sum. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this. This is the array value operation. Okay, and then arithmetic operation. So while talking about this arithmetic operation, so there are a lot of basic arithmetic operation we need to do by using this NumPy library. So if we want to do that, so here we have considering two arrays. A is equal to 7 comma 9 comma 9 comma 2 and C is equal to np dot array of 1 comma 9 comma 9 comma 6. So if these are the two arrays, you can able to simply process by using A plus C, A minus C, A multiples of C, A divided by C. So if you are doing that, it will automatically give you the results in the format of like array. So 7 plus 1 is 8 and 9 plus 9 is 18 and 9 plus 9 is 18 and 2 plus 6 is 8. Whereas if you want to do the difference, so 7 minus 1 which is 6 and 9 minus 9 which is 0, 9 minus 9 is 0 and 2 minus 6 is minus 4. So likewise it is done for multiplication as well as the division. Okay, and if you want to do the next level of mathematical or arithmetic operations, same as like we are going to consider two arrays, so A and then B. So first of all, if you want to find out like each element of first dimension array with same index with another dimension element. So for an example, so if I'm going to run this 23, 20, 18 and 8, what does mean by that? So each element of first dimension, so here 7 is here. Okay, so 7 plus 16. Okay, if you want to do likewise, so this is also can be done. So it is a single dimension, sorry, it is a multi-dimensional array. If you want to do the multi-dimensional array within that array itself, because that array contains two dimensions. One is 7 comma 9 comma 9 comma 2, whereas the second dimension which is 16 comma 11 comma 9 comma 6, where we have two dimensions. So if you want to do the addition between the two dimensions, so that can be done by using this sum of axis is equal to 0. What it means, each element, for an example, the first element 7 plus 16 which is 23 and 9 and then plus 11 which is 20 and 9 plus 9 that is 18 and 2 plus 6 that is 8. So likewise, if you want to do that operation, so that can be done with the help of this b dot sum of axis is equal to 0. Okay, so whereas if you want to do it differently, like sum of all element is first dimension and sum of all element in the second dimension. So for an example, 7 plus 9 plus 9 plus 2 which is 27 and 16 plus 11 plus 9 plus 6 which is 42. So if you want to do these kind of mathematical operation within the dimensions, so that can be done by using sum of axis is equal to 1. Okay, these are the two main syntax, you just have it note. And if you want to find out the square root of a certain array, that is also can be easily find out by using np.sqrt, that is square root of a. So which is going to give us that array's square root value. Okay, so this is the array which we have, right? So for that data, so for that I think we are using this first array. So 7 comma 9 comma 9 comma 2. So for this value, what is the square root of it? So we got the output within a single line by using sqrt syntax. So numpy dot square root. And if you want to find out the standard deviation, numpy dot standard deviation of that array variable a. Okay, it is given that standard deviation which is 2.8 and which is like exponential. If you want to find out the exponential of array, so np dot exp of a, so which is given that exponential of that array. And if you want to find out the natural log of array, so natural log which is like a log of that n value, so that ln. Okay, so if you want to find out the natural log, so log of exponential, so which is the natural log, right? So np dot log of a, so which is given that natural logarithmic value of the certain array. And instead of natural log, if you want to find out the log base 10, so that is also can be easily done like numpy dot log 10 of a. So with the help of that single line, we can able to execute lot more complex mathematical operation with the help of this numerical Python library. Okay, this part is all about that one. Okay, first of all, we can able to do the addition between the two dimensions cross, like we can able to add, do the summation of we can able to do the addition of the element which is present in the first dimension and the second dimension within a single array. So that is the first one, b dot sum of axis is equal to 0. And second one, if you want to add the first dimension completely and second dimension completely, and we need to separate like a two values of an array, that can be done with the help of sum of axis is equal to 1, and square root of the array can be find out by using a sqrt, and standard deviation can be find out by using std, and exponential can be find out by using exp, and natural log can be find out by using a log of a, and log 10 log base 10, so that can be find out by using log 10a. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this normal basic arithmetic operations. And same as like if you want to go for next step level, so for an example, the first one, so np dot vstack, what does mean by this vstack? Vstack is nothing but a vertical stack. So here we have two arrays, so both the array which is a multi-dimensional array, right? So both the array which is a multi-dimension, which is contains a b array and then f array is here. And if you want to use a vertical stack, what is mean by this vertical stack? It is also going to be simple. It is going to combine it. So for an example, 7992 161196, which is already in the first array, right? It is going to combine it into another dimension like 1 2 3 4 and 5 6 7 8. So this is the vertical stack. Okay, I hope you are clear this. So this is the vertical stack. Whereas same as like if you want to do the horizontal stack, h stack, which is going to give us the horizontal stack. Okay, so this is converted into this one. Okay, 7992 1 2 3 4, it is appended here, whereas and the next data 16 11 9 6 and then 5 6 7 8. This is the horizontal stack. Okay, I hope you understand the difference between the vertical stack and then horizontal stack. And b dot travel. So b dot travel, in the sense, it is going to remove that of dimension and it is going to combine that as in a single dimension. So if you need to combine that as in a single dimension, that can be achieved by using a ravel. Okay, b dot travel. So what is meant by b dot travel? So it is going to combine that multi-dimension into a single dimension by using a ravel. So it is just combine the result, which is 7992 161196. Okay, so these are up to this basic NumPy operations, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this today's session. I'll have a quick overview about it. First of all, we have learned how to install a NumPy library and NumPy versions, and we have used to obtain like how to initialize a single dimensional array, how to initialize the multi-dimensional array, how to generate a certain array within a range and within a line space having a equal distribution of the data. And we have seen a lot of array properties, which includes dimension, size, memory occupying, and size and its shape and those things. And then we have done a reshaping of an array also by using a reshape keyword, and array slicing also is done to retrieve the certain data on specific from the certain array. So that is array slicing. And array value operations. So array value operations in the sense to find out the minimum value from the certain array, maximum value from the array, or doing a summation of complete data from the certain array by using min, max, and then sum. And the basic arithmetic operations like plus, minus, and then multiplication, division, which can be easily done. And additionally, we can able to find out the square root, standard deviation, exponential, log, and then log 10. So that is also can be done with the help of NumPy library. And the another main operations like a vertical stack, horizontal stack, and then ravel, which will be helpful for merging the multi dimensions into a single dimension, or vertically organized dimension, or horizontally organized dimension. So likewise, we have done a lot more process from these operations, guys. Okay, so I hope you really enjoyed this today's session. Okay, and 30-day success mindset. Yesterday's task is to write down all the project ideas and plans you are considering. Then prioritize the list in the order of what will bring in cash faster. So this is the yesterday's task, whereas today's task is, which is about write down all the things that create resistance in the process of you taking an action. So if you are doing an action, what it is struggling you, where you are struggling of. For an example, if you really want to get the job in any kind of big company, so where you are struggling, or what are the resistance are there. So for an example, your communication skill, that may be your resistance. If you the skill set, that is also maybe your resistance. And what if you are not aware of something, so that is also a resistance. So awareness. So if you don't have any awareness, that is also a resistance. And if your friend is blocking you to apply for the job, and if they are giving, that is also a resistance. So likewise, please write down what are all the resistance to take an action. So for an example, if I'm planning to complete a certain book, what are all the resistance are there? So where you are distracting. So likewise, you just write down whenever you are trying to take an action, what are the resistance. So you just please write it down. That is the today's task. Thank you so much once again. It's me Sanjay signing off. Until then, bye. We'll see you on the tomorrow.